Senator Durbin.
Thank you, thank you, Chair Murray, and thanks to both secretaries for being here today. Secretary Mayorkas, you said something in your opening statement which I want to return to, and that is the majority of narcotics and fentanyl coming into the United States comes in through ports of entry transported by U.S. citizens. Is that correct?
That is correct. I believe it's more than 90%.
More than 90%. More than 90% comes through ports of entry transported by U.S. citizens. As Willie Sutton, when asked why he robbed banks, said it's because that's where the money is. Isn't it pretty clear that that's where we ought to focus our efforts, at least our startup efforts, to deal with this fentanyl crisis?
Most certainly, Senator, and that is indeed where we are focusing our energies, both with respect to the deployment of technology and the law enforcement operations that we undertake.
So is the Biden administration putting their money where their mouth is in terms of asking for money that will help you fight the fentanyl crisis at the border?
We most certainly are.
Does it include not only increased numbers of personnel, but also new technology?
Yes, it does, Senator. The non-intrusive inspection technology, which is so effective in scanning vehicles of all types.
Well, I certainly agree with Senator Collins. We should be concerned at the other 10% that's coming across the border. What are we doing about that?
We are deploying our personnel to the fullest extent possible to interdict narcotics. We need our CUAS authority reauthorized. That's our counter-drone authority. The cartels seek to smuggle drugs via drones in between the ports of entry. Our counter-UAS authority expires before the end of this year. We need that dramatically.
Now, that's something we can do that makes a difference immediately.
Yes, indeed.
And certainly the administration's request for more money when it comes to fentanyl intervention at the real source is time and money well spent, correct?
It is. It saves lives.
Now let's talk about the other issue before us. We have been, during the Biden administration, overwhelmed at the border by the numbers who have come in or tried to enter into the United States. Is that correct as well?
The numbers have been unprecedented, Senator.
And can you tell me your explanation as to why that occurred?
Senator, that is not something that is specific to the southern border of the United States. That is a global phenomenon. We have the largest number of displaced people in the world today since World War II. And that is something that is gripping our entire hemisphere. There are approximately 2 million Venezuelans seeking shelter in Colombia. We have an unprecedented gang problem in Ecuador that is causing an unprecedented number of Ecuadorians to flee. We have a situation in Haiti, which is dire. This is something that involves corruption, poverty, violence, natural disasters. We are, and in a post-COVID environment, we're seeing just a level of migration throughout our hemisphere.
The first item suggested by the Republicans, if we are going to discuss immigration, is a 900-mile addition to the wall between the United States and Mexico. Can you comment on the impact of such a wall, what it might cost, how long it takes to build?
It costs billions and billions of dollars. It takes years and years to build, and it is not as effective as a multi-pronged strategy that includes critically latest technological advancements. We need a 21st century solution to what we are experiencing as a 21st century problem. It is not the time for brick and mortar. We need to meet the moment with technological innovation and our extraordinary personnel.
Let me just close by saying I've spent a large part of my Senate career on the issue of immigration. As chairman of the Judiciary Committee, it's in my jurisdiction, and I've been frustrated that we've been unable to initiate a true bipartisan effort to solve our immigration challenges and the crisis we face today. I was with the Gang of Eight, several members of this committee as well, that produced a comprehensive immigration reform which passed the Senate, was never taken up by the Republican House. I am ready to sit down again and make that work. This notion that we have to do significant immigration reform in the next few weeks or we won't send money to assist the people in Ukraine or other causes important to our national security, I think is mistaken. I agree with the chairman who said pinning our efforts in this critical area of supplemental appropriation on comprehensive reform is really not realistic. I do want to undertake that in a serious way, and I'm sure you'll join in that effort if we do.
I most certainly will, Senator.
I yield.
Thank you. Senator Graham.
Thank you, Madam